Dear students, today we are going to learn the second part of the lesson Age of Industrialization. Students, in the previous class I had already told you that England was known as the mother of Industrial Revolution. Now today you will know why England was known as the mother of Industrial Revolution. Now during this Industrial Revolution there were many major factors which had taken place in England. Now which was the first one? Geographical location, availability of capital, availability of natural resources, availability of labor, scientific and technological knowledge. Now these were the major factors of the Industrial Revolution, why it had taken place especially in England. This is map of England. The first major factor, that is geographical location. Now the geographical location of England made a big difference in the Industrial Revolution. Why? Because it was separated from the mainland Europe. England was being separated from the mainland Europe. And the climatic conditions were humid, which were favorable for textile factories. Students keep in mind that England had a humid climatic condition, and this climatic condition was favorable for the textile industry. Second we have is availability of capital. Basically availability of capital meaning money. England had lots of money. And how did England have money, students? Because England was getting a lot of profit from their trade with India and America, which made it easy for them to buy machinery. People were willing to take risk and invest in new discoveries and new techniques, which made a big difference. Now, which people are we talking about over here? We are talking especially about the rich people. So they were, willing to take risk, and they wanted to invest in new discoveries and new techniques, which would make a big difference. Not only availability of money and location made a difference, but also availability of natural resource also made a difference. It had a great impact. Okay, the availability of resources is the third major factor. England had large deposits of gold, iron and mineral fuels. So students, there was a lot of coal, iron and mineral fuels in England. They were found in large quantities, and this helped the growth of numerous industries in England. The fourth one is availability of labor. During the 18th century, England saw increase in population, and the landless farmers used to migrate to towns in search of jobs. So they had lots of labor with them. And why do you think, students, these landless farmers, they were moving to towns in search of jobs? Because there was an enclosure movement in their town. Now what is this enclosure movement? Enclosure movement is a movement where the landlords had taken back the land from the small farmers and enclosed it to form large farms, so that they could use new modern techniques of farming. Okay, these landlords had taken the land from the smaller farmers. Fine, so their jobs had gone, and because of that, the smaller farmers, they were migrating from to towns in search of jobs. Next is scientific and technological knowledge. Looking at the scientific and technology, it was growing day by day. Scientists were being supported by rulers, and because of the invention of machines, there was establishment of factory system. Now students, England was very fortunate to have a number of people with necessary scientific knowledge and ready to experiment on it. Now these scientists, they also received support from their rulers. Okay, and what happened? The scientists and the discoveries in England gave preference to the discovery through machine, which not only reduced the work of the people, but at the same time be more effective in producing goods of better quality, which were cost effective. Okay, so it was reducing the work of the people. Like for example, this inventions of new machines. Like if there were 8 people who were doing a work, this machine could do the work of 8 people. So now students, we have the next subtopic, that is inventions of industrial Revolution. Now let's look about the invention of Industrial Revolution. The invention of steam engine developed the factory system because it was used in industries such as textile, iron and coal. Because of the favorable climate and all the other reasons mentioned, England was called the workshop of the world. Now students, the factory system had developed due to the discovery of new source of energy which would easily operate the machines. Heavy machines were of no use if there was no effective power to operate it. Manpower was insufficient and water power was not available everywhere. Thus, it was the need of the hour to invent such a source of energy which would overcome these defects. And students, we all know that Thomas Newcomen had already discovered the steam engine. And who modified it? Yes, it was James Watt who modified the steam engine. Let us see some of the inventions. Cotton gin. Student, the first picture, okay, it is a cotton gin and it was invented by Eli Whitney. And what did it do? Yes, it separated raw cotton from its seeds. Okay, so this cotton gin, it separated raw cotton from its seeds. This had enabled the workers to get a larger amount of cotton to process upon. The second invention was spinning jenny. Spinning jenny was invented by James Hargreaves and it is used to spin about 8 threads at the same time. Thus, it could do the work of 8 laborers at once. So yes, dear students, I was telling you about spinning jenny, which was invented by James Hargreaves, and it used to spin about 8 threads at the same time. Thus, it could do the work of 8 laborers at one time. The third invention was the water frame. You can see in the picture, students. Yeah, that is on your left hand side. Okay, it is a water frame. Now, this water frame was discovered by Richard Arkwright. Okay, it used to spin stronger and firm. It is used to spin stronger and firmer threads, and this was cost effective. Now, this machine spun a stronger and firmer thread, and it was cost effective since it was operated with water. Why was it cost effective, students? Because it was operated with water. Now, its only drawbacks was that it was heavy and had to be installed in factories which were close to water resources. Now, as I have told you that this machine was been used, operated by water. So, what was the drawback? The disadvantage was that it was heavy and it could be installed in factories wherein water was close by. Next, we have mule. Mule, the picture on your right hand side, was invented by Samuel Crompton and it did similar things what the other machines used to do, but it was faster than the earlier machines. This machine had not only spun fine and stronger threads, but it was much more faster than the earlier machines. Next we have is the flying shuttle. Now this flying shuttle, which is on your left hand side, was invented by John Kay. This machine could do double the work what a weaver could do in a day. Okay, so this machine, no matter it was small, but it could do double the work what the weaver could do. Understood, students? You will have the exact picture on your textbook. And the last one, what we have is power loom. Power loom, which was invented by Edmund Cartwright, and it was fast, efficient and was operated with water. Okay, this power loom, it was invented by Edmund Cartwright and water was used to operate it. It speeded up the process of weaving because now a weaver could weave more threads at the same time. Students, now we come to the iron and coal industry. Abraham Darby invented coke smelting in 1709. Charcoal at that time was becoming scarce and was very expensive, and it was replaced by coal. Okay, students. Now, this coal provided the power to drive the steam engines, and iron was needed to make the different kinds of tools, build bridges and ships. The large deposits of coal and iron had benefited the British manufacture. Next, we have Sir Humphrey Davy invented a safety lamp for the miners who were working in the coal mines. Okay, there were mine students. Okay, we have already discussed about coal, that coal was used instead of charcoal. So, from where would they get coal? From the mines. So, Sir Humphrey Davy, he invented a safety lamp for the miners who were working in the coal mines. This lamp issued a warning to the miners when the level of carbon dioxide would increase in the mines and there was danger to their lives. Now, what was the use of this lamp? This lamp issued a warning to the miners when the level of carbon dioxide in the mines would increase and there was danger to their lives. Next we have is transportation industry. Now, in transportation industry, okay, there were three means of transport. Now, which were the three means of transport? We have roadways in the first picture, second picture we have waterways, and third picture we have railways. Now, coming to roadways, John McAdam discovered a process of macadamized roads. He used a mud binder between the two layers of stones, and mud was later on replaced with tar. Now, what did this John McAdam did? Initially, students, roads were developed in England during the last half of the 18th century. When John McAdam had discovered a new process, a road building called as the macadamized roads. He used a mud binder between the two layers of the stones to hold them together. Mud was later on replaced with tar. Now, these hard surface roads could tolerate the burden of large scale transportation. Okay, so like heavy transportation also could go on these roads. Next we have is the waterways. Robert Fulton discovered the first steamboat called Clermont, and the first canal was dug from Worsley to Manchester to carry coal from mines to the furnaces. Okay, now who was the person who discovered the first steamboat? Robert Fulton. And what was the name of the steamboat? Clermont. Okay, it covered the distance of 150 miles from New York to Albany in just 32 hours. This was a boon for the industry because now the raw materials and the finished goods could be easily transported from the place of their availability to the place of production and distribution. Next we have is railways. Yes, the first steam locomotive rocket was invented by George Stephenson. In 1830, the first railway line was laid between Manchester and Liverpool. Even in India, they laid their railway line by Lord Dalhousie. Now, who laid the railway line in India in 1853? Yes, students, it was laid by Lord Dalhousie. Coming to communication. Students, we all know that it is very important to communicate. Yes? So, communication increased during the age of industrialization. The invention of telephone by Alexander Graham Bell improved communication. The first picture, there is a person in that picture, a man in that picture, and he is Alexander Graham Bell, and that was the invention done by Alexander Graham Bell, and it is a telephone. Then there was discovery of wireless telegraph by Guglielmo Marconi. You have seen in that picture there is another man, and that is a wireless telegraph. It was invented by Guglielmo Marconi. And the third is the ideas of penny post was brought forward by Rowland Hill. Penny post is what? Posting mails. Okay, fine students. With transportation and communication setup, there was also a revolution in agricultural setup. Now, what is the meaning of agricultural setup? A revolution in agricultural setup which brought changes in cultivation of land is called agricultural revolution. Okay, So what is agricultural revolution or agricultural setup? It is a setup which brought changes in the cultivation of land. At this time, there was introduction of new machines, new crops. Jethro Tull started scientific cultivation. He invented seed drill and a horsepower hoeing machine for cultivation. Okay? There were a lot of changes in agriculture. Fine, students. Next is Townshend invented the system crop rotation, and Bakewell invented the scientific way of breeding animals. What is system cross rotation? Crop rotation. Many crops were grown on rotation. Fine. The next subtopic, effect or impacts of industrial revolution. England was called as the workshop of the world. English had their colonies in different parts of the world, and it was very easy for them to get raw materials at a cheaper rate. And they would sell the finished goods at a higher rate. So what would they do? They would get raw materials at a cheaper rate and they would sell their goods at the higher rates. They also used to get slaves from Africa to work in plantations of the European masters. And from where would they get the slave students? They would get their slaves from Africa to work in the plantations of the European masters. Now, students, there were also many positive effects due to this industrial revolution in England. Now, what were the positive effects? There were some positive effects of industrial revolution. There was mobility with the help of railway and waterways. Okay. Next, we have it brought nations together, and it also gave rise to banking and credit facilities. There were also negative effects because of this industrial revolution. Now, what were the negative effects? Exploitation of workers. Because workers were at the mercy of the owners, so owners started to treat their workers in whatever way they wanted. Okay? Wages. The salary of the workers was very low. Even the women and the children had to work. Workers were treated like machines and not humans. They had to work, work and work all day. Fine? Next is child labor. You know, no? That it is wrong to make a child work. So a child had to work about 10 to 14 hours a day with minimal breaks. Minimal meaning what? Less. The machinery used to work so fast that it would, used to cut the fingers, arms and legs of little children. How terrible, no, students? These machines were so fast that these machines would cut the arms or maybe fingers and legs of the children. There was breathing problem. Even on Sundays, they had to come to the factories and clean the machines. Because of small size of children, they were employed or put to work in mines so that they could send them down easily. They were small, short. Okay, so what they would employ these small children so that they could, use these children. These children were used to go into the mines and they would go easily because they were small. The people who profited from all this torture were the owners. Now, who profited from all these tortures to the workers were the owners. They were getting a lot of money and profit. Next is environmental problems. Students, we know a lot of pollution. When you have a lot of factories, you have a lot of pollution in the particular country or a particular state. So also there was a lot of pollution in England. There was a lot of burning of coal to produce power. There was industrial waste which was disposed everywhere. There were waterborne diseases at the same time. There was a lot of air pollution. Okay, so a lot of pollution was there because of increase in the industries, that is burning of coal. Why there was burning of coal? Because they wanted to produce power. Fine. And there was also industrial waste which was disposed everywhere, especially in the water. So there were waterborne diseases and at the same time there was a lot of air pollution. Okay. So, students, the Industrial Revolution did bring a radical change in the political, social, economic, and cultural life of those countries where it had taken place. It laid the foundation of modern society. So, students, that's the end of the chapter, The Age of Industrialization. Thank you for listening.